Hello, my name is Kiriath. We are back with more Warhammer 40,000, and today we're going to talk about the Mordians and the Vostroyans, because they have had their regimental stuff released, splashed all over the Warhammer community site. I don't know why I phrased it like that. And I think before we get into it, I just want to say I apologise in advance if I seem like just a bit less energetic and enthusiastic. Just having a bit of a rough time family-wise at the moment, and I am absolutely knackered. But I'll do my best. I'll do my best not to be thoroughly depressing whilst we're talking about this stuff, because actually some of it's pretty good. So let's just go straight into it. And let's have a look at the Mordians first. So the regimental doctrine for the Mordians is parade drill. Mordian regiments are proud, unyielding soldiers. They fight and die facing the enemy, standing tall in ordered ranks and unleashing a devastating fusillade of las fire. If the base of every model in an infantry unit with this doctrine is touching the base of at least one other model from the same unit, the unit has +1 leadership, and you can add 1 to hit rolls made for models in that unit when firing Overwatch. You can add 1 to hit rolls made for vehicles with this doctrine when firing Overwatch if they are within 3 inches of one or more other friendly Mordian vehicles. I've got to say straight off the bat, I love it. I absolutely love this. It is proper static gunline stuff. This just rank upon rank of Mordians stood in just perfectly, just stood there waiting, shooting as the enemy charges straight into them. I like it. And it's nice that it affects vehicles as well. I have to admit, when I first read it, I was a bit concerned before I got to the last bit. It says it affects vehicles within 3 inches of one another. But yeah, it's good. It's nice. It's fluffy. It works well. And I kind of like the fact that it's more of a, I guess, reactive thing in that it applies to Overwatch. It does seem to make it more of a stand your ground ability than just a, you get +1 to hit. Just +1 to hit would be cool, but it would also be a lot more flexible, I guess, whereas it being just an Overwatch, it just gives you that image of an army perfectly arrayed in proper rank formation, just standing there waiting for the enemy to come at them. I really like it. I really like that. And I mean, let's face it, +1 to Overwatch, you're never going to complain about that, especially as guard. Because, if they're getting into close combat range, you don't really want them to get into close combat range. So being able to get that extra few hits landed thanks to that, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. They mentioned the Leman Russ Punisher as being quite a good choice for the Mordians, and they point out, very scary prospect for a unit of tank hunters to charge, especially when throwing in the defensive gunners stratagem. So let's have a quick look at that. Defensive gunners. As enemy anti-armor troops advance upon their vehicles, sponson and turret gunners unleash a devastating hail of fire. Use this stratagem when a charge is declared against one of your Astra Militarum vehicles, Imperial Guard. When that unit fires Overwatch in this phase, they successfully hit on a roll of 5 or 6 instead of only 6. So if we just, take that down to what we just read about the Regimental Doctrine, that means you can hit Overwatch on 4+ if you use that stratagem. That's pretty good. That is good. And whilst sometimes I think the choices that they make for units to highlight with certain armies can be a little bit suspect, I will 100% concede that a Leman Russ Punisher hitting on 4s for Overwatch is not something I'm ever going to complain about, because, well, that's cool. That's cool as hell. We also have this. Now, I read this yesterday, and I still can't get over this. I absolutely love this. What is this ability? What is it? Why? What is going on? Grinding advance. The Leman Russ tank's sturdy frame allows it to keep up a fearsome rate of fire even as it advances on the foe. If this model moves under half speed in its movement phase, i.e. it moves a distance in inches less than half its current move characteristic, it can shoot its turret weapon twice in the following shooting phase. Turret weapon must target the same unit both times. Furthermore, hit rolls for this model's turret weapon do not suffer the penalty for moving and shooting a heavy weapon.
The following weapons are turret weapons: Battle Cannon, Eradicator, Nova Cannon, Exterminator, Autocannon, Vanquisher, Battle Cannon, Demolisher Cannon, Executioner, Plasma Cannon, and Punisher, Gatling Cannon. Excuse me? Excuse me? So if you move a Leman Russ less than half its movement phase, then you get to fire twice in the following shooting phase? I mean, it says grinding advance. It doesn't say anything about in which direction you move, does it? So conceivably, you could move them backwards and still fire twice in the following shooting phase. And no penalty for moving and shooting a heavy weapon? No penalty for that? Are you having a lot? That's crazy. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that is... to me, that is 100% fluffy, and it is absolutely... It is spot on. It is spot on. I mean, they're Imperial Guard, for God's sake. They love the tanks. They're all about the tanks. And now they actually get to move, admittedly slowly around the battlefield, but they get to move and fire twice? I'm not seeing a downside to this. This is one of those abilities where... I'm just like, I'm not even looking at it and going, now, when would that be good? Always. It's always good. That's always going to be good. When is that not going to be good? When is that not going to be good? Move it half an inch. Move it half an inch, then fire twice in the following shooting phase. I mean, it says moves under half speed if the model moves under half speed. Just, move it an inch. There you go. Fine. Off you go. Fire twice, following shooting phase. No penalty for moving and shooting a heavy weapon. No penalty for that. Go for it. Knock yourself out. That is quality. That is quality. And if anyone says that's not quality, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're off your face. That's awesome. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving that, if you couldn't tell. Absolutely solid. Solid, that is. Okay, so the final thing that they talk about for Mordians is veterans. A key component, allegedly. Well, yeah, I mean, it is a key component. And they get this. Come here. There we go. Mordian. Form Firing Squad. I wanted to say from. Form Firing Squad. With but a word from their commanding officer, the Mordian infantry take on the role of executioners. Until the end of the phase, the ordered unit can target characters with their rapid-fire weapons, even if they are not the closest enemy unit. That is not bad at all. That is nice. I do like that. I think that's... I mean, it's quite a good ability, being able to take out characters without having to faff about shooting the closest enemy unit. Again, pretty good. I have to say, I'm liking the Mordians. I really am. I think the Mordians are looking pretty good. I think out of them and Catachan, I have to admit, the bonus that Catachan get to vehicles is kind of tipping me over a little bit. It's kind of tipping me over just that tiny bit more. But yeah, I mean, Mordians are not bad at all. Not bad at all. Oh, Lord. I can't get over grinding advance. I cannot get over grinding advance. It's so good. And I mean, actually, I should have pointed this out as well. I'm sorry, I apologise. I should have pointed this out. Leman Russ is in every regiment. They do specify this. In every regiment, I've also seen a small points discount and a fantastic new ability designed to do due reverence to the 41st millennium's most iconic battle tank. So that's not a Mordian thing only. Grinding advance is not just for Mordians. That's just what Leman Russes get. That's awesome. If you mix that with the Catachan ability of getting... Was it rerolls that Catachan got? Oh, you know what? Let's have a quick look. Oh my god. Let's just have a quick check, shall we? I don't know whether that would stack or not. I mean, it's a regimental doctrine, and it's an ability that Leman Russes just get. So, okay, so Catachan, brutal strength. Each time a vehicle with this doctrine fires a ranged weapon that makes a random number of attacks, e.g. heavy D6, heavy 2D6, you can re-roll one of the dice used to determine the number of attacks made.
that with grinding advance, being able to shoot twice in the following shooting phase if you move less than half your movement speed. Excuse me? Excuse me? I tell you what, Steel Legion had better have something pretty bloody good to be able to... I mean, Steel Legion are all about the tanks, but... I mean, grinding advance combined with the Catachan Regimental Doctrine to me seems that is mental. That is mental! And a Catachan's going to be the armoured column now. Is that how that's going to work? We need Steel Legion. We need answers, because that's crazy. I like that. Oh, God, I'm getting excited now. There we go. The enthusiasm is seeping back into me just from reading this stuff. If I wasn't going to do Imperial Guard before, I absolutely am now. Even the dog's loving it. Listen to that. Even the dog's going mental. Okay, Vostroyans get heirloom weapons for their regimental doctrine. Each and every Vostroyan weapon is lovingly handcrafted and engraved with intricate ornamental detail. These are no artisanal trinkets, however, as victims of their deadly accurate firepower will attest. Laying it on nice and thick, excellent. Units with this doctrine can add 6 inches to the maximum range of heavy or rapid fire weapons they fire, which would normally have a range of 24 inches or more. Nice and simple one there, it is just, that's it. It is a flat 6-inch increase to all weapons, which are heavy or rapid fire, which have a range of 24 inches or more. So, I mean, there's not a huge amount to say about that, apart from 30-inch las guns. I'm not going to complain about that, and, I mean, thinking about it, heavy or rapid fire, so 30-inch heavy bolters are 24 inches, right? Las cannons, 54 inches. I mean, it's not bad. It is not bad, and as they point out themselves, heavy weapon squads are already very handy in an Astra Militarum army. Well, obviously. And they even say, yes, few enemies are going to be able to escape a 54-inch las cannon. While if you get charged, the Vostroyan order repel the enemy is potentially punishing. So what is that? We'll have a quick look. Repel the enemy. The firstborn regiments are drawn from those who've learned to fight in the cramped ruins and alleys of their home world. In which case, an increase to most of their weapons actually thematically doesn't make much sense, but I won't go into that right now. Until the end of the phase, the ordered unit can fire any of its weapons while it is within 1 inch of the enemy, regardless of the weapon's type. If they do so, they must target enemy units within 1 inch, even if friendly units are within 1 inch of these units. I mean, that's pretty good. That is a nice little ability, although... yeah, I mean, when they say the firstborn regiments are drawn from those who have learned to fight in the cramped ruins and alleys of the home world, I don't see that and immediately think, yes, that must be part of the factor that their weapons all get 6 inches more. I don't know, that's like a weird sort of dissonance thing. I get it's because the weapons are like, they're finely crafted, they're heirloom weapons. It's down to the weapons, not the actual army itself, but it's a very strange mix of, here's the extra long range, and also because they don't fight on their home world like that long range, they can also fight really short range. I don't know, it's a weird bit of dissonance there, but again, I'm not really going to complain too much because, well, an extra 6 inches on the weapons is not bad. It is not a bad ability. Not the most exciting ability, but it's not bad. They also get a Scout Sentinel thing. So, a Scout Sentinel Scout Vehicle ability gives it a free 9-inch movement. It gets 15 inches extra worth of range, because all of the Sentinel's weapons, apart from the Heavy Flamer, they benefit from the 6-inch increase. So, yeah, Scout Vehicle at the start of the first battle round, but before the first turn begins, you can move this unit up to 9 inches. It cannot end this move within 9 inches of any models. I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest. Scout Sentinels have never really struck me as being something that I've been that interested in, and I have to admit, I don't see a lot of people talking about them or using them so much. So I don't know. Maybe when the Codex comes out, there'll be more to see from that particular side of things. And finally, for a stratagem, Go Recon. Use this stratagem at the start of your shooting phase. Select a unit of Scout Sentinels from your army. This unit can immediately move 2d6 inches, but cannot shoot or charge this turn. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's just sacrificing shooting for moving. Not going to complain about that, but again, I've never been a big Sentinels person. I've not necessarily been a big Imperial Guard person, but I've never really heard amazing things spoken of in terms of what Sentinels can and can't do. So, yeah, alright, fine, fair enough. I will say and this is something we'll talk about some other time as well, they do mention at the bottom of this article, if you want to outrange your opponents or just need an excuse to pick up some beautiful models, start playing Vostroyans. We will go into this more in a separate video, but Vostroyans are old as hell. The sculpts are old and the models are very old, and I don't believe they're even plastic. They're not plastic, are they? Are they metal? Or have they moved on to resin at this point? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure they don't have anything in the way of customization or anything like that. So, whilst I do appreciate that the Vostroyans look pretty decent, if you're trying to encourage people to buy Vostroyans, I would suggest probably that you need to actually produce a decent kit for them first. Just going to throw that out there. I think that's about it for today. I have to say, out of the two, I've got to be honest, I'm kind of preferring Mordians. Now, Vostroya with the flat increase to range, you can't complain about that. I think it's pretty good. A bit boring, but it's pretty good. But Mordians felt, I don't know, a bit more fluffy, just a bit more interesting to me, I think. They just seem to have more personality in what their rules represent. So, yeah, I'd say Mordian are coming out on top in terms of the two we looked at today. But I'll be honest, Catachan still seems just way too good. Seems way too good. Even with the extra range that you get for Vostroyans, just the sheer amount of extra damage you can do with vehicles for Catachan is really pushing them like to the top of the list so far. And as I say, I don't know what Steel Legion's going to get. I hope it's something as good as what Catachans do for vehicles, because if it's not, that's going to be disappointing. But we will find out soon enough, won't we? Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, then there's the usual array of things to click: Patreon, subscribe, other videos, all of that stuff. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully, with more. And again, I apologise for the weird kind of upload schedule and stuff this week. This was supposed to be yesterday's video, but as I say, there's just a big family stuff going on, which is making it tricky to keep to a decent schedule. So, again, thank you very much for watching. I will see you for the next one. Toodaloo.